So now that we have our equip slash unequip and cycling logic pretty much in place and functional, we need to kind of flesh out the remaining part of this ability. So currently we are immediately ending the ability when we cycle to the next equipable, and we don't want to do that. Basically, what we want to have happen is once the unequip is complete, we want to then cancel out, well, not cancel, but end this ability. Now, the way we're going to do that is through a gameplay event. So, if you've never heard of a gameplay event, basically what this will do is off of our ability system component, we can send a gameplay event to ourselves with a tag and a payload. And it'll basically just kind of tell us, like, hey, here's an event we are currently listening for. And if we receive it, well, we'll just fire off a function with the payload in it that we can, gather information from and do whatever we want. So in our case, we are just going to end the ability. Now, the way we're going to do this is we need a wait gameplay event. So for this, it's going to be a U ability task, wait gameplay event, like so. So we need to make this in the header. So U property T object pointer of U ability task wait gameplay event. And we'll just call it wait gameplay event. Or better yet, let's call this one unequip complete event. Now let's go ahead and for declare, and now we can begin. So unequip complete event is going to equal U ability task wait gameplay event, and we need the owning ability. So this, we need the event tag, which we need to make, and then it has some various information like target, trigger only once, and only match exact, blah, blah, blah. So we need a new event tag. So let's create it. So under our public here in our core module, let's go ahead and make a new header file. And this one's going to be, let's do gameplay event tags.h. So we can delete the remainder of these and do the same thing to the CPP file. So gameplay event tags.cpp. And again, delete the remainder. So we want the gameplay event tags.h, and we want it to be tag.ability, or let's actually change this out entirely. Tag.gameplay event dot, let's do unequip complete. Or sorry, not dot, underscore. So we'll use that, and we'll do gameplay event dot unequip complete. So now that we have our tags, we can go ahead and include that as well. Let's actually move that guy down there, and we can include data tags gameplay event tags.h. So now let's use tag underscore gameplay event unequip complete. So next up is the optional external target. We're going to do a null pointer. We don't care about it. Then only trigger once. We want this to be true. So that way this only, fires just once. Next up, we need to go ahead and add so here we have on complete, we have our activate function, and we have our gameplay event callback. So I don't know if that's actually it. No, it is not. So let's look for the delegate here. So wait gameplay event delegate. Here's event received. However, that's not going to be it. There should be something. Maybe it's like the rest of them where it's, on finish or something like that. No, it's not that. Let me see what it is. Okay, I was a little bit surprised, but it actually is the event received, which I'm pretty sure is private. However, maybe it has, I mean, I really don't know. Maybe it's doing like a friend thing. Anyhow, so we have our event received. So from there, we can add dynamic, and we want to add user object being this, and a function which is going to be U gameplay ability cycle to next weapon, and the function, which in our case we're going to do on unequip complete. So let's make this function. So void on unequip complete, and it actually needs to be a U function because we're of the type of what do you call it? Delegate that it is, and we need to know the parameters. So let's look at event received, which is this guy right here. So it takes in a F gameplay event data and calls it payload. So we'll make that the parameter. So we have F gameplay event data and the corresponding payload. So as you can see, that fixed the error, and now we can simply activate this ability task. So it is now listening for a gameplay event called Unequip Complete. So what we're going to do here in the Unequip Complete is print out a log temp, warning, text, on Unequip Complete in this ability. And then we simply end the ability. So end ability, current spec handle, current actor info, current activation info, and replicate end false, and was canceled false. So we don't care about the payload or anything like that, but we just wanted to basically just tell us that, we have finished unequipping. That's really all it's doing. Anyhow, back in the equipment component, here we have our own on unequip complete. And what we want to do in here is, because this will fire kind of regardless, we want to fire it either if we are authoritative or if we are locally controlled. Actually, yeah, those are basically the two conditions. So if we have authority, or we are locally controlled, which means we need to get the owner. So in our case, we need to make sure it's a pawn. So a pawn. We'll just call it pawn, or no, let's do owning pawn equals get owner, and the type being a pawn. So if we have authority, or the owning pawn and the owning pawn is locally controlled, then we want to send that gameplay event. So here we need the ability system interface. So do we have ability? Yes, we do. So we have the get ability system component function. So we can actually just call that instead. So get ability system component, and we want to send game. Oh wait, no, it's not on there. It's actually the U ability system blueprint library, I believe. So we can include the ability system blueprint library.h. And off of this has a gameplay event. Yes, send gameplay event to actor function. So the actor being the owning pawn, then the tag being that tag that we just made, which is the tag gameplay event unequip complete, which we need to include. And then it takes in a payload. So F gameplay event data. We don't have any data that we want to send, so we can just send, an empty one. So now we just need to include this tag. So let's go up here, and we can simply include data tags gameplay event tags.h. So in the meantime, while I talk, I'm going to go ahead and recompile and relaunch. But basically, once the on unequip complete has finished in our equipment component, if we are the server or we are locally controlled, we want to send a gameplay event that basically just says, hey, the unequip has been completed. So in our cycle to next equipable, we are listening for that gameplay event right here. So once that has been received, we will fire on Unequip complete. And this will allow us to basically kind of cycle more, what's the word? I guess you could say predictively, as long as we set it up here, which I can't entirely remember. So let's check set held actor. So yeah, we should be good to go. Technically, we only want to do this server side, so we'll end up wrapping that in an authority check at some point. But this should allow us to do it predictively. So with that said, we have our 1911 and BAR in hand. Let's give this a try and simply spam the one key. So I didn't actually spam it, but you can see we have the on equip complete in our gameplay ability. So I'm going to spam one, and you can see it doesn't allow me to fire again until it has equipped the next firearm. So that way we can't really spam it, so to speak. Well, we can, but we have to wait till the equip has or the unequip has happened first. Now, regarding the predictive part, let's go to editor preferences, go down to play, and enable network emulation with the bad preset. So let's go ahead, and we have the server on the right and client on the left. So here I am as the client. I'm going to press 1, and the cycle to the BAR should happen instantly, and then we'll see it happen later on the server. So I press 1. Where's the one key? There it is. 3, 2, 1, press. As you can see, it happens instantly, and then it happens later on the server. And that's what we want. So that's working pretty good. We do have a slight issue of, you can see it takes a bit for the ammo to update, and that is something we will address in the future. But that is basically just due to how we are reinitializing. Actually, I can show you right here. So where we call the, no, it's down here. So where we call the on equipped, we are basically, setting the values for the ammo attributes only on the server. So we don't really have any predictive nature of this, so to speak. So that's something we'll have to take into consideration and work around in the future. Anyhow, we have this in a good state. So the only thing I want to test next is going to be playing in standalone, because I want to try a join in late. So I'm going to go ahead and place down a player start, which I should have had in here a while ago, so I'm not spawning in, random places all the time. So that's a, decent enough position. So I'm going to go ahead and play. And what I want to do is, in this guy, I want to go ahead and start up a listen server. So open notchter and toten underscore listen. And that created a listen server. So I'm going to switch to the BAR, switch to the 1911, and switch back to the BAR. So, we're on the BAR, and then I want to join in with this guy. So let's open our local loopback address, like so, and connect. As you can see, he has the BAR in hand. So far, everything seems to be going quite well. I'm going to uncheck the enable network emulation, and I guess I have to switch back to a listen server for that. And save. So we are in a good spot. We now have our, equipping logic. So the only thing to do next is going to be, in our gameplay ability, we can remove this log here. Alrighty, that is going to end this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon in the description below, where you can gain early access to this entire series.